Today's topic will be something which you will remember for a very long time. COVID was a very interesting time in our life. It has taught us many lessons. Now, one of the lessons people learned during COVID was people figured out how important it is to maintain a good health because COVID was all about having good immunity because there's no medicine to fight a virus. Your immune system basically fights. And then people realize that yes, health is important. I have seen my grandmother, my children have seen their great grandmother. Do you think, considering the kind of lifestyle what we are embracing these days, considering the kind of environment in which we are living, or is it possible for you to see your children's marriage? Forget about your children's children. I mean, that's a question mark now because the lifespan is steeply declining. You compare India with Japan. Japan has one of the highest lifespans in the world. Right? People live for 80, 90 there. In India, if you reach 60, it's a great achievement. And not just that, we have also noticed people with good health, people who go to gym, who are fitness freaks, even they have died. I mean, there are instances of people dying in the gym. So health has become a serious issue now. And all of a sudden, people have realized that they should do something about health because these days, some of the common diseases have become normal. And these diseases are usually referred to as lifestyle diseases. For example, hypertension is a lifestyle disease. It's because of the kind of lifestyle what you're following, you have got this. This is called hypertension, in which your blood pressure is always high. Diabetes, type 2 diabetes, comes from obesity, improper lifestyle. Thyroid and hormonal imbalance comes from lifestyle. Even for that matter, cancer these days is attributed to the lifestyle. So you have compromised on your lifestyle. First of all, you're not sleeping for 8 hours, which is a prerequisite to have a good health. You're hardly sleeping for 4 to 5 hours. And if it is possible, you will also go sleepless also. But what would the body will demand you to sleep? And what about the kind of food what you're eating? How safe is the food what we are eating? Is it free from chemicals? What about the air we breathe? Is it pure? And climate change is also taking a toll on our health. Technically, after 2, you should not go outside because the UV is all-time high these days. But we are compromising on this, because of which our health is getting impacted. But now people have all of a sudden realized that yes, they should do something about their health. And people are slowly following good diet. People are going to gym, taking fitness very seriously. So because of all these instances, people have woken up and now they are saying that yes, health is important and we should do something about health. Otherwise, if you don't take care of your health, then it'll be quite problematic in the future. Another area which usually we think, especially in Indian context, that this problem does not exist. And when people say I have such problem, we generally think the person is doing a drama. I'm talking about mental health. How important is mental health? In the context of Indian society, mental health is not a problem at all, actually. If somebody says I have stress, I have depression, people will laugh. That is how we take in mental health in India very lightly. But mental health of late has also become a serious concern. Not just common man, even big celebrities have encountered serious mental health issues. How many celebrities you have read in the news who have committed suicide? How many celebrities have admitted that they have depression and they had gone through depression in their life? Including Virat Kohli had admitted that he had gone through depression and he had to take counseling sessions to manage depression. How many of you in your lifetime so far, probably you're 20 or 19 now, in your lifespan of 19 to 20 years, have you ever got a suicidal thought in your mind? Mental health is a serious issue. And all of a sudden now, there is a discussion on deliberation also on social media platforms about work-life balance. Because one fellow is saying, do 90 hours of work Another fellow is saying 70 hours. Another fellow says, I have no interest in my wife. So we have different comments coming up. And this being an ongoing debate on social media about work-life balance. I mean, should you spend your entire life in office? That's what the corporate world is demanding. Corporate jobs are highly demanding. You may have on paper on the offer letter 8 hours of shift. Technically, you have to work for 9 hours. In that 9 hour, 1 hour is break time, which will be split into 3. One half an hour break, 2 15 minutes breaks during a shift of 9 hours. You have to work for 8 hours. That means you have to show 8 hours of login, otherwise, your salary will be deducted. 8 hours of login, 1 hour of break, both put together, 9 hours you're spending in the office. To go to office, you need 1.5 hours. To come back from office, you need another 1.5 hours. 3 hours. 3 hours plus 9 hours. 12 hours. On top of that, your work will never get over in 9 hours. It will spill over. It will spill over by another 1 or 2 hours. That means 13 to 14 hours if you're spending in office, your personal life and your family life, your social life is getting compromised. So that's the reason why there is a cry on the social media that work-life balance is important, and employees have also realized it's okay to get 10,000 less. But what should be good is the work culture. Work culture in the organization where you'll be working, that should be good. If there is a toxic environment, if the salary is 50,000 more, also people are these days saying, I don't want. People want cordial work environment, good work culture that promotes mental health and work-life balance. Even though these two things are important, but I'm not going to talk about this. My topic today is not mental health and physical health. It is more than that. Something which most of you will compromise the moment you start working. Our today's discussion will be financial health, financial well-being, and financial etiquettes. How important is financial health? So we're talking about mental health, physical health. Have you ever thought about a concept called financial health? Just the way we have physical health checkup, we go to a diagnostic center, do our blood test and scanning. Likewise, so have you ever done financial health checkup of your parents? I mean, you can't do for yourself because you're still a dependent. But have you ever done financial health checkup of your parents? Today, you go and ask your parents a question, especially the one who's earning. Have you ever done your financial health checkup? Because if the financial health is not good, what will happen to mental health? And what will happen to physical health? In fact, financial health is linked to both. Financial health is not good, the person's mental health will deteriorate and physical health will also get compromised. So, is it important that you should have a financial discipline in your life? Just the way you have thought about corporate etiquettes, business etiquettes, what is also important is financial etiquettes, financial discipline. But unfortunately, individuals compromise financial etiquettes. See, the term finance. What does the term finance mean? Finance is defined as a science. Finance is also an art, but it is also a science. The reason why we say finance as a science, because finance require you to be disciplined. What is science basically? Science is nothing but system. Systematic way of doing things is called science. So when it comes to managing your finances, do you follow scientific or a systematic approach? Today, after going home, you ask your parents, 2024, from January to December, how much did you earn? Where did you spend? How much have you saved? Your parents will go under shock. Not because that you have asked a question, because they don't know. Forget about 2024. If I ask you a question in the month of Jan 2025, how much did you get and where did you spend? You have no idea. That's the story of every salaried individual in India. They don't know what happened to their salary last month. First 10 days are called Achhe Din and last 10 days gone. First 10 days there is a flood of money in the bank account. Last 10 days the bank account is hit by a drought. There is no money at all. So this tells the entire story of how disciplined individuals are when it comes to managing funds. On top of that, you have many things to achieve in your life. You're yet to start your career. You're yet to start the actual innings of your real life, because right now you're at a different stage altogether. Today, probably I'll focus only on the stages. And probably in the next class, we will talk about planning and discipline. What are the stages of our life? In school, I'm sure in your biology subject, you have studied life cycle of insects. But have you ever gone through the life cycle of your life? Life cycle of life. This is also referred to as investor's life cycle in finance. Understanding this life cycle will actually help you to figure out how important is money, point number one. And second, why it is important to be disciplined when it comes to money matters. So when we examine the so-called investor's life cycle, the first stage starts with the stage which right now you people are in. The first stage is called the bachelorhood stage. In this bachelorhood stage, we are talking about individuals who are in the age group of 17 to 23 years. Right now, you're in this age group, 17 to 23 years, basically a college going student who is aspiring to finish his or her graduation. And at this stage, unfortunately, you don't have your own source of income. Maybe a couple of you in the class may work part time or full time, but by and large, at this age, you don't have your own source of income. Since you don't have your own source of income, you are dependent on your parents. And maybe sometimes your relatives, when they meet, they may give you some money. So, whatever money you get from your parents in the form of pocket money or any other kind of money, where does it get spent? I did a research on this. Where do youngsters, college going students like you spend whatever money they get? So I've identified three major areas where most of the spending happens. Area number one, shopping, because for you clothes are very important. Area number two, eating. Area number three, dating. Shopping, eating, date. What's common in all these three is one point, that all these activities is intending towards socializing, because at this stage you want to socialize, you want to have friends, you want to enjoy. But one of the important prerequisite of socialization is how you look. Your look matters a lot. So considerable amount of money you're spending on your looks, your grooming, whether it is buying cosmetics, whether it is your hair care, oral care, facial care, whether buying clothes. And then, of course, you want to spend time with your friends, for which food and beverage is an important aspect. And at this stage, you're also attracted towards opposite gender. This age, same gender is also possible. Socialization. Most of the money is getting spent there. But what happens slowly, you will go to your final year, you will complete your graduation, you may get a job, or alternatively, you may do a post graduation, you may get a job, or alternatively, you may work. The point here is the moment you complete your studies, you start earning. Either you do business or you work somewhere else. Now, that is where you're getting some sort of a financial freedom. That is your independence. Because all this where you are dependent on money. But the moment you get your first job, your first salary is always special, right? So that is when you get your independence, because you have access to money which you have earned on your own. And most of the time, you're not answerable. You don't have any financial commitments. Maybe 1 or 2% students may have, but by and large, at this stage, nobody will have financial commitments. So whatever you earn is your own money. So as per the research, what I discovered was, the moment students start earning after their graduation, I wanted to figure out what happens to the first month's salary. Where do people like you who finish your graduation, who start earning, where do you spend your first month's salary on? And from the data what I've collected, I've noted that most of you spend your first month's salary on your wardrobe, on buying new clothes. The reason for this is because in your fifth sem, in your sixth sem, you are following a certain fashion, the which is a popular fashion in the colleges. But the moment you go to office, you will realize the fashion is different there. People are wearing a different kind of a fashionable clothes, which is not matching your style. Because all this while you would have done set off and carry forward. Fifth semester clothes carried forward to sixth semester. Right. And then you realize, oh, I'm left out, because you don't want to be left out. You don't want to be the odd man out in the office. So immediately you want to buy the clothes which are matching the style of your friends, your group, your colleagues in the office. So first month's salary goes in changing the wardrobe. Then comes second month's salary. In second month's salary, you will address one of the most important issue which you have been facing right from fifth semester. And that issue is pertaining to your mobile phone, because your mobile phone is begging, don't take photos, I don't have storage. The mobile phone which you have right now is a compromised mobile phone which your parents would have got. You wanted something else, but because of budget constraints, your parents got you something else, but you're okay with that, but it was not your favorite model. Somehow you're compromised. But the moment you get your own salary, now you have the freedom to buy your own mobile phone. Some of you watch documentaries, some of you like space documentaries. And according to scientists, the only planet which sustains life is planet Earth. So scientists have figured out, in order for a planet to have life, what is important. So they have come up with one common hypothesis, that planet should be located in a zone which is referred to as a Goldie zone. It should not be very near to its host star, and it should not be very far from its host star. If it is too near, it is too hot, so life cannot sustain. If it's too far, then it's too cold, life cannot sustain. The light position is very important. So one of the prerequisite to have life is the right position of the planet. Second, oxygen. Third, water. Fourth, I have identified one. I'm not a scientist, but I've identified. For life to exist, apart from water, apart from air, what is also important is mobile phone. Without mobile phone, we cannot live. That's how important mobile phone is in your life, right? So therefore, mobile phone is important. So second month salary goes in mobile. You will buy the latest Apple phone. Third month, third month salary. Just the way you have graduation day in your college, in corporate world also we have a graduation day. And graduation day is celebrated the moment the employee completes the training period. The moment you complete your 3 months training period, the employee is said to be a graduate. Some companies do a small program for that also. So the moment you complete your training, your actual work will start. But completion of training itself is an accomplishment. And during your training, you would have made new friends. And with those friends, you want to spend some time before you actually start working. So third month salary will go on going to Goa, because you want to spend some time with your friends who have worked with you in the training, because after training they may go to some other team, some other shift. So third month again goes on socialization on a trip. 3 months salary gone. Fourth month, one miracle will happen. This is not actually a miracle, this is a debacle. What will happen in fourth month is, looking at your 3 months financial statement, one credit card company will give you one credit card. And giving a credit card in the hands of youngsters like you is like giving a coconut in the hand of a monkey. The monkey don't know what to do with that. So you will get more financial freedom. Because all this while you had to worry to buy something, do I have money in my account? Now, even if you don't have money in your account, still you have financial power. And the life starts with credit card. My friend who was a close friend with me in my graduation, he got a job. He did his MBA and he got a job in a French bank. The name of the bank is Society Generale. It's a French bank. And he started working there. And after 5-6 months, we met. We used to usually meet once in a week. So we met. And he said, I've already booked an i20, Hyundai i20 car. And next week I'm going to take the delivery of the car. You have to accompany me. I said, okay, let's go. So we went to showroom. We took the delivery of the car. From showroom, we straight away went to temple to do puja. And from there, we were heading back for, on the way, 2-3 decks. The traffic is like that. And then after reaching my friend's house, I saw entire people of the building were waiting for the car to come. and her mother had already made this news viral that son is getting I-20. So entire colony was looking from the balcony that car has come. And looking at that, I also got excited. Wow, what a feeling. Parents are so proud. Mother is so happy. Father is so proud. People are watching. So I thought, boss, why should I also not buy one? Because it will make my parents also happy. But then, I had this financial bug inside me, which kept on saying that it's not a good thing to do. Because what am I doing with my salary? Investing in a depreciating asset? Car is a depreciating asset. And honestly, how many times will I use that car? Because office is providing me a car and I hardly use the car on a Sunday or one day. Does it, is the investment worth? Instead of that, I will invest in stock market, make more money. Why should I go for an EMI? So therefore, the problem is that you're not serious about money, you're not serious about the events that is about to come in your life. And every event of your life requires financial support. See, age of 23, if you complete post graduation, you'll be at the age of 23. If you are done with your graduation and you're continuing, you will be 21. You have already started working in a company. What's next? What next is actually a very crucial event of your life. And this event is called marriage. But when you look at the investor life cycle, the first stage is called bachelorhood. The second stage is named as honeymoon. But what does this stage explain? This stage explains that you're going to get married. Now, marriage, it's your personal choice. You want to get married or not, it's your choice. Because now you have plenty of options that are available. People are rethinking many things, what we do in our society. People are questioning those things. Should we really get married? Is it a compulsion? And if we get married, should we really have children? So these questions have now been coming out from people of your generation. So the choice is yours. But how many of them really don't take up these events? Maybe hardly 5%. But by and large, 95% is indulging in these events, right? Marriage. What I found out is of late, people have started delaying marriage. No, they want to get married, but they are delaying the duration. Earlier, wonders have happened in India. Child marriage has also happened in India. Looking at the current statistics, men are getting married at the age of 30. In cities, what is the average age of wedding? 30. Women are getting married at the age of 25, 27. So, going by your profile, you're at the age of 20 now. Next year, you will complete your graduation. You will become 21. Assuming that you're not doing any post graduation, how many years are left for this event? For men, it will be 9 years. For women, it will be 5 years. The reason why I'm asking you to find out the duration is because marriage comes with a cost. Considering the kind of rituals what we have in India, no matter which religion you belong to, whether you're a Muslim, Hindu, or a Christian, we have a lot of rituals in all the religions. Considering those rituals, what do you think, according to you, is the kind of budget required for an individual to get married in the present context? How much money do you need to get married? 30 lakhs? What is the amount of per gram of gold right now? You know that in Indian wedding, gold is an important aspect. Only for gold, you need to have a budget of 10 to 15 lakhs. If you want to get married now, you need to have a budget of 20 to 30 lakhs, depending on how gala you want your wedding to be. But if you want to get married after 9 years, add inflation also. So if you need 30 now, after 9 years, you may probably need 60. Is it possible for you to accumulate 60 lakhs when you're 30 years old? That all depends on your salary. The average salary of a graduate in Bangalore is 20,000 rupees per month. What is the average salary of a graduate in Bangalore? 20,000 rupees per month. Hypothetically, even if you save entire 20,000, how much you will end up saving per year? 2 lakh 40. 2 lakh 40 into 10 years you do. But you need 60 lakhs. Where the money will come? A suggestion which most of them would do, that is loan. Loan is a common way of meeting your financial requirement. See, what will happen is very simple. You will indulge in loans. So your new innings of life also begin with loans. Already you have taken loan to buy Apple phone. Already you have taken loan to buy your new vehicle. Another latest entry is your marriage loan. Or alternatively, what individuals are doing, something which I have noticed, is that they will pass the burden to parents. Your parents have already funded your education. Your parents, one of the important concern on your parents' mind is also your wedding. So your parents will have to also bear the burden of your wedding. So this is the second stage. First stage is bachelorhood, second stage is honeymoon. When you get married, it's called honeymoon. And this stage has other wonderful expenses also. First of all, to get married, you need money. And then the reason why it is called honeymoon, because in India we have concept of arranged marriage, wherein you have to get married to somebody whom you don't know and spend the rest of your life with that person. So such a risk involves you to spend more time with each other. The more time you spend with each other, you get to know each other better. When you joined this class in the first sem, you were not knowing each other. But as the one semester passed, you now know most of them how they are. So similarly, the reason why couples are pushed to take up a honeymoon is that so that they can understand each other. For which again there is a lot of cost. Most of the young married couple spend a lot of money on socialization. Young married couple to know each other, they also want to impress each other. So in order to impress each other, what you should do? See, as an individual, this fellow never bothered to stand and eat chats on roadside. On roadside is okay to have masala puri and pani puri. And roadside it tastes better also. Because the fellow who's preparing puts his hands all over. After marriage, he does not want to have roadside because he wants to show his class to his partner. So he will go to a gourmet restaurant and have gourmet paliku, specially made by Michelin star chef. All this while he was okay watching movie in a single screen theater like Urvashi. But after marriage, he wants Rex, gold class. One waitress should come and serve gourmet popcorn. And every Sunday, he wants breakfast to happen in a poolside restaurant. People should be swimming. Here, he should be having English breakfast with his wife. Lunch. Lunch should be on a rooftop restaurant. UB City, rooftop, entire Bangalore view should come when he's having the lunch. Night, dinner will be candle. I mean, all of us have aspirations like this. It's good to have aspirations. Aspirations comes with a cost. You need money for all these. You want to make your wedding life special, it comes with a cost. Another area where most of the young married couples spend a lot of money on is home furnishing, because it's a new home for them. Gone are the days when people used to stay in joint family. Now people want nuclear family. So you have your own house, you want to have good furnishing, you want to have new home appliances, you want to have new electronic gadgets to make your life easy. Second stage of investor life cycle is called honeymoon. Third stage, good news will come. Third stage is called parenthood. That means you will become a parent with a newborn child. And I want to make you realize that in order to become a parent, lot of element of cost is involved. Would you prefer getting treatment in a government hospital when you fall sick, or do you go to a best hospital? If you go to a government hospital, next day you should get hospitalized in a regular hospital, because the condition of government healthcare is pathetic. So therefore, these days, healthcare is under corporates. Who has taken the healthcare? Corporates. Have you heard of a hospital called Manipal? Manipal is a listed company on stock exchange. Have you come across a brand called Aster? A Columbia Asia, Wockhardt, Ovum, Mother Road, Cloud9, Rainbow, All these are corporate brands. They charge you a bomb, but they also give you a service like that. So in case if somebody wants to become a parent, the moment you come to know that you have become a parent, the package starts, which means you don't have to go to hospitals for checkups, for blood checkups. One team will come to your house to do all. And whenever you want, you can contact the gynecologist on WhatsApp. She will give you all the recommendations. Women is are in 6 months. One team of photographers will come to the house with a van with all the cameras, and they will do exclusive maternity shoot. And it will be a not ordinary shooting, it will be like a cinematography. Shooting will happen at your home. And finally, the baby arrives in the hospital. Earlier, in five-star hotels, luxury rooms in a five-star hotel is called suite. The rooms what you have in the hospital is called a ward. Now it has become opposite. In hospitals also you have suite with all luxury facilities. And the moment child is born, again team of photographers will come. They will make the small baby wear different props. Baby will look like a butterfly, like a worm, like so they'll take the photos. You're about to leave the hospital. The entire team of doctors, nurses will come to say goodbye to you near your car, and they'll put up a sticker, baby on board. And once you go home, you will realize how expensive it is to have a baby. Because baby milk formula will cost you 900 rupees, which you'll get over in 2 days. After eating milk, baby will poop, for which you need a diaper. Diaper will cost rash, for which you need expensive rash cream. Baby will fall sick every 2 days in a week, for which you have to visit a pediatrician, and the consultation charges 1,000 rupees. Have you visualized all these expenses in your life? When you become 34-year-old men and women, when you become 29 years old, that is when you will get first heart attack of your life. I know it's very early, but be prepared, embrace yourself for this heart attack, because you will get this heart attack when you go to Bishop Cotton to enroll your child for nursery. You know what is the fees for babysitting? It's 3 times what you're paying for your BCom. If for your babies, babysitting, play school, the fees is at least 1.5 lakh if you want a good school. If your child wants to do MBBS, then probably you have to sell both your kidneys. Yes. We don't have time. Listen, last bench. We will continue. I just want to summarize. The third stage is called parenthood. Lot of expenses are involved. After parenthood, the next stage is called parents with mature children. First is parenthood. Second is the next stage is called matured parents. I'm skipping that step. Matured parents are parents of teenagers. 13, 14. They are called matured parents. The next stage is called parents with mature children. So which stage your parents are right now? Parents with mature children. What is the major expense for your parents? Your education. Your education is a major expense. Likewise, your clothing is a major expense. Your wedding will be a major expense. Unfortunately, the last stage of investor life cycle is called dissolution. This is the stage when unfortunately people fall sick because they are growing old. This is the age people will eat more medicines than food. This is the stage people will spend more time on ICU than at bed in bedroom. And unfortunately, this is the stage where one wicket falls. Either husband or wife will go off. And this is the stage when your children will consider you as the biggest burden on this planet. In Mumbai, one couple took their mother to terrace and threw her. Because she was suffering from cancer for the last 3 years, they were fed up taking care of her. They were wealthy and rich, but they were fed up taking care of her. God forbids if you are unhealthy in your old age, you're gone, your children will not keep you. But fortunately, if God gives you good health, in that case also your children will fight that they don't want to keep you, and you will be put in old age home and their St. Joseph University students will come as a part of outreach. They'll do some activities for you. You're not in all the stages, but you should be aware what happens in which stage. And every stage of your life, you need money. And if you're not disciplined in the first stage, this will cascade. So you have to become disciplined in the first stage itself. I have already created a fear in you by telling you the truth that the average salary of a graduate in Bangalore is just 20,000. With this 20,000 rupees, do you think you'll be able to accomplish the dreams of your life? Is it possible to buy a house in 20,000 rupees per month salary? Is it possible to give good care to your children in 20,000 rupees salary, your children's education in 20,000 rupees per month? You have to rethink. And in the next class, I will give you a solution. In today's class, I've highlighted only the challenges. In next class, I will give you the solution as to how even with 20,000 rupees per month salary, you can do wonders. That we'll have a discussion in the next class.